Joseph Heller was a writer from America. He was born in 1923, in a small town in the state of New York. His family was not rich, but they were happy. Heller grew up during a time when the world was changing a lot. In the 1930s, there was a big economic problem called the Great Depression. Many people lost their jobs and could not find work. Heller's family did not have much money, but they tried to stay strong. Heller went to school and was a good student. He loved to read and write. As a young boy, he enjoyed writing stories, but he never imagined he would become a famous writer. After finishing school, he decided to join the army. This was during World War II, a very difficult and dangerous time. Heller worked as a soldier in the army, and he was sent to Italy. There, he saw many terrible things. The war changed his life forever. After the war, Heller went back to America and went to college. After college, Heller started to write more seriously. He wanted to write books that told the truth about life and about the world. He knew that life was not always easy, and he wanted to show this in his writing. He started to write short stories, but he wanted to write a big novel. It was not easy, but Heller never gave up. In the 1950s, Joseph Heller began writing a book called Catch-22. This book would change his life and make him one of the most famous writers of his time. The book is about a man named Yossarian, who is a soldier in World War II. Yossarian does not want to fight in the war because he is afraid of dying. However, there is a problem. The army says that if a soldier wants to stop fighting, he must be crazy. But if a soldier asks to stop fighting, it means he is not crazy. This is called Catch-22, and it is a very strange and unfair rule. The book shows how the army and the war are full of silly and unfair rules that do not make sense. When Catch-22 was first published in 1961, it was not very popular. Many people did not understand the book, and some thought it was strange. But after a while, more and more people read it, and they realized that it was a very special book. Catch-22 became famous, and Joseph Heller became a well-known writer. Catch-22 was not just a funny book. It was also a serious book. It showed how people can be trapped by rules and systems that they cannot control. The book talked about the dangers of war and how people often suffer because of things that are not their fault. It made people think about the world in a new way. The term Catch-22 even became a part of the English language. It means a situation where there is no way out because of impossible rules or conditions. Heller wrote many more books after Catch-22, but none of them became as famous as his first one. His second book, Something Happened, was published in 1974. It is a story about a man who is trying to understand his life and the world around him. The book is long and complicated, and it is not as easy to read as Catch-22. But Heller's writing was always interesting, and many people liked his style. In the years after Catch-22, Joseph Heller continued to write novels, plays, and short stories. Some of his later books include Good as Gold and Picture This. These books also dealt with serious subjects like the problems of modern life and the struggles of people trying to find meaning in the world. However, these books were not as popular as Catch-22. Many readers still considered Heller to be a great writer, but they did not always understand the messages in his later works. Joseph Heller also worked as a teacher. He taught writing at the University of Pennsylvania and other universities. He enjoyed teaching and helping young writers. Many students admired him and were inspired by his work. Heller's influence on the world of writing was very strong. Even though he was not always in the public eye, his books continued to be read by people all over the world. In his later years, Heller lived in a quiet place, and he continued to write. He wrote about the things that mattered most to him, such as the struggles of ordinary people and the unfairness of life. His books were sometimes difficult to read, but they were always interesting. They made readers think about the world in a new way and understand the problems that many people face. Joseph Heller died in 1999, but his legacy lives on. His book Catch-22 is still read by people of all ages and is considered one of the most important books of the 20th century. The story of Yossarian and his fight against the unfair rules of war continues to inspire readers and writers. Even though Joseph Heller wrote his books many years ago, they still have a lot to say about the world we live in today. Joseph Heller's work reminds us that life is not always easy. There are many problems in the world, and sometimes it can feel like we are trapped by rules and systems that we cannot change. But Heller also showed us that it is important to keep asking questions and to try to understand the world around us. His books continue to be an important part of literature, and his story will inspire many writers for years to come.